Welcome back, everybody. In the kitchen with Angie Horkin from the Beef Council. She's our beef lady. We're making two different really great steak kebabs. And I just, kebabs for me, anybody can grill a steak, which is great. But you just take the little bit of extra effort, put it on a kebab, bring that out on a platter, and everyone's like, oh, wow, this is fancy. We even did kebabs at my rehearsal dinner, and we just did a bunch of different types, and they just are cool. They're, for the most part, very healthy.
Yes, very healthy, because you're incorporating a lot of vegetables and even fruit. I love putting pineapple on my kebabs with the steak and with vegetables.
Yeah.
Sounds odd, but
no, it really does,
good.
especially if we're going to do a teriyaki type flavor. The other thing is we're not eating a whole steak, we're just eating pieces of steak, which is a great way to go in the summer. I love steak, but probably not so good to eat a whole big, huge ribeye. So
it's a lot more economical this way too,
because
if you get, and you're sticking to your serving size, so the 3 to 4 ounces. So I got 4 1-ounce chunks on a skewer, 1 skewer per person, and it's easier that way.
Love it. Okay, so these kebabs actually have a great rub that we're going to do and a nice sauce. So we're going to start with the sauce. A little olive oil, a little onion to start that, right?
Yep, a little onion and some garlic.
Okay.
It's a roasted red pepper dipping sauce.
Yum.
Yeah, it is very good. It is, I think it'd be great in just on grilled steak.
Sure.
In other recipes, it's very good.
And we didn't need to roast the red peppers. These come in a jar just like this. We just drained them. And then I just give them a rough chop?
Yeah, rough chop.
Okay. All right, I'll get to work on that. You talk about the steak. What kind of steak are you using for these kebabs?
I have a top sirloin.
Okay.
If I'm going to grocery shop for a steak for kebabs instead of using one I already have, but if you already have steak, an extra steak, T-bone, you can chunk that up. A top loin, which is a strip steak, a ribeye, a tenderloin, any of those steaks are fine for kebabs.
Okay.
They're tender, you don't need to marinate them ahead of time. But if I'm going to go to the supermarket and I'm going to make kebabs, I buy a top sirloin. And I ask for it cut thick.
Okay.
So this is a lot thicker than you would see in the case. This is an 1.5 inch, 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches.
It's going to be easier to cube up that way?
It's easier to cube up and keep on your kebabs rather than the thinner 3/4 inch, which you usually see in the meat case. And the meat department guys will do that for you, no problem.
I like that. They'll probably even chunk it up for you if you ask
exactly.
nicely. Smile at them.
If you do it at home, try and keep your chunks uniform so then they grill uniformly.
And am I just dicing up this?
Just dicing that up.
Okay.
And then that'll go in with the garlic and the onion.
All right, so my onion's starting to sweat down a little bit. So interesting, though, that that's your steak of choice if you're going to go shop for this, to make it, is the sirloin rather than, first of all, it's lean, it's easy to chop up, and obviously better on the budget than a beef tenderloin.
Exactly. Top sirloin is very, very versatile. I like top sirloin, too, for my stir fries. A lot of stir fries call for round steak. Top sirloin's more tender.
I agree.
You don't have to marinate as long, and you don't have to be so careful about overcooking it, because if you cook your top round a little too long, it's not going to be tender.
True.
And it's still economical, so it's a very versatile steak. And it's lean. It's one of the skinny 29.
You can see how lean that is. So my onion's starting to cook. I'm adding some garlic. And then what are you going to rub this in or kind of season that with?
I just put my steak chunks in a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
And then I'm going to toss in black pepper, kosher salt, paprika, and then garlic.
So it's kind of a wet rub with the garlic in there.
I use jarred garlic.
Okay.
But of course, fresh garlic would be perfect.
Okay.
Or the tube garlic. So yeah, wet rub.
Okay.
So toss this in your Ziploc.
Now, do our peppers go in at this point, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, so in goes our jarred roasted red peppers with the garlic and the onions. So really kind of massage that in there.
Yeah. Get it nice and coated. You can do this ahead of time.
Okay.
Put it in the refrigerator.
For how long? Like overnight?
Yeah, overnight would be fine.
Okay.
It's not going to tenderize that. There's no tenderizing agent in there,
just give
so
it some
it's
good flavor.
fine.
Okay.
And then I soak my wood skewers in a Ziploc too, with a little water.
Okay.
So they don't grill quicker than my steak.
Now I'm finishing up this roasted red pepper sauce. What else?
Then we're going to add white wine.
Okay. Dry white wine?
Dry white wine, about a half a cup.
Okay.
Thyme. Just some dried thyme. If you have fresh at home, that's perfect.
Okay.
A couple large tablespoons of tomato paste. And then 1 cup of beef broth with cornstarch.
Okay.
So we'll mix the
That's gonna
cornstarch in
thicken
the
it up a
broth
little?
first. Yeah. And this sauce is super easy to thicken. Sometimes I have trouble. I'm not a gravy maker.
Mm-hmm.
But this sauce, you put this beef broth in with that 2 big tablespoons of cornstarch, and it thickens up in 5 minutes. It's
Love
beautiful.
that. So you can do this on the side burner of your grill. Use that side burner this summer. That's what it's there for. And whip this
Yes,
up.
it'd be perfect on the side burner.
You also could make this sauce, I'm thinking ahead, a couple
Yeah.
days ahead, park it in the fridge, and then just reheat it.
And then reheat
Yeah.
it on your side burner, so you don't have to be trucking back and forth from the grill to the kitchen.
Perfect. So we thread the beef then on the,
Thread
on
the
the
beef
skewers.
On the wood skewers. I like to leave a little space between them to let the heat circulate around them. And then on a nice medium hot grill, charcoal or gas, either one. These don't take very long, 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on them. They can be nice and pink in the middle, medium rare.
However you
So
like them.
However you like
Just
them.
turn them every once in a while.
Turn 'em
They
every
look
once in a while.
fantastic. I'm going to let this sauce come to a little bit of a simmer. And when we come back, we'll plate this up. And we're going to make another type of kebab that is marinated in what?
It's called a mojo sauce. A lot of fresh ingredients, fresh herbs and fresh orange juice and lime juice.
Ooh, yum. That sounds fantastic. Plus, we're going to talk about a great summer wine. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back.